Hi guys! I have been writing up a storm this week. It seems like my mental blocks are finally easing, thank goodness. So I'll talk a little more about that at the end of the video. But today we're going to go on a little adventure just to get out of the house because fall weather is finally here. The air is drier. The leaves are a teeny tiny bit starting to change. So that's all very exciting. And we're going to just go to the antique mall probably and wander around, just kind of, it's like a little too hot to go outside still, but it's like perfect for the antique mall, which is not air conditioned or very well heated, so you only really want to go at the perfect time of year. I'm looking for a couple of things casually. I'm always looking for good vintage clothing from the mid-century. I'm looking for a tiny box to keep some tiny items that are obnoxiously floating around my bookshelf. I'm looking for a nightstand or a small table. I'm always looking for interesting books. And just, any kind of decor that screams that I must have it, which doesn't happen very often, but if it does, I will have to have it. I'd also really love to find a vintage straw hat, but I've been looking for one of those for a million years, so I don't expect to find one, but like a 1940s straw hat would be sweet. So I hope you'll enjoy this little adventure, and I will talk to you later in the video about my writing week. Here we go, tobacco barn. Let's see if we can find some treasures. What? I think it's in there. What the heck is flops in space? I mean, I do not need a coat, but this is a very pretty one. It looks good with my dress. I love how these old coats always have initials in them. The one that I have at home also has initials in it. Okay, let's see if they have any other treasures. Haunted baby dress. Oh, look at that little guy. That one's cute. I don't know what it looks like. I guess this one's pretty fun. It's not really my style, but I like it. You're grumpy. I love this print, but it feels like it's also a little not politically correct. I just love the colorway of it. I have really cleaned up at this booth before, but it kind of seems like they haven't refreshed it in a while. Oh, hey, you're a cute little number. $25? That's tempting. Colors are not my absolute favorite, but a day dress for $25 is hard to pass up if it fits. At one point, this booth also had a lot of these old cotton petticoats, and I kind of wish I'd bought them, but this is the same time I found a bunch of other stuff there, so you have to pick what you're going to spend your money on, and I'm not sorry with the direction I went, but sometimes you just wish that you had all the money in the world right at the moment that you need it, right? think of this one? I feel like this is a little too Anne of Green Gables. It's not quite the 40s hat that I envisioned, but I have to say, if I was cosplaying, it would work well with a 1900 something look. I like this one, but not for $32. Ugh, I'm looking kind of disheveled from pulling dresses on and off my head. But that was a successful trip to the antique mall. I will show you what I got when I got home. And now we're gonna go to the Biltmore and just walk around a little bit, soak up this beautiful weather while we can. So we thought we'd come to the Biltmore on this beautiful day and have a little frolic. I'm wearing one of my favorite 1950s dresses that I found right here in Asheville. Asheville's been pretty good to me with vintage, actually, which surprises me. And I have my beautiful new Teddy Blake handbag. I'm loving how well this seems to vibe with my vintage style, and it is designed by the same Italian designers who designed designer bags made out of Italian leather in Italy by the same Italian craftsmen who work on designer bags, but at a much more affordable price point. But it feels very luxe and it smells so good. I keep sniffing it throughout the day. So I was absolutely thrilled when Teddy Blake reached out to me to try out one of their bags. So nice and quality, like it's going to last me for years. They have new collections every month, and if you want to check it out, make sure to visit the link in my description. Okay, I'm back home. It's the next day now. By the time I got home yesterday, I was just so wiped. I'm like, I'm gonna record the rest of this video tomorrow. But yesterday was a pretty great day. I actually wrote like 1,500 words in the morning. Me and some of the people on my Discord have been doing like text sprints on there, and that has really been helping me get some words down lately. I really don't know if it's the autumn weather or just like balancing out my hormones and vitamin deficiencies and such, but so far September has been awesome, and I have needed it. I have just been struggling so much this year with my writing. If you've been following this channel for a while, I had a goal when I started this channel at the beginning of the year that not only was I going to become a YouTuber, but also I was going to finally write all the stories in my fantasy world, or at least as long as I could afford to do so. And so far, like financially, I've been able to hang in there, but the problem is that I've barely written any of the stories. Like, I've been really struggling with my creativity, and it's frustrating because like this is all I've been wanting to do for my entire adult life. And then I get to the point where I can do it and I'm like, why are you blocked? Which, you know, that might be part of it, is all the buildup of my life. I've been working so hard to get to this point. They always say that if you start unschooling a kid who's already been in school, they sometimes have like a long decompression period. And I also think this is true if you leave your job to become a full-time creative. Really anything where you step away from like a routine where you had to work and suddenly you have all the free time, that it actually takes a while to really use the free time. I didn't think that would apply because I've been writing this whole time, but I haven't been writing what I want. So it's possible that maybe I'm just also coming out of the decompression period. But all I know is that all of a sudden I wanted to write so many things. I started working on that rewrite of Alfred's story that I talked about in another recent video. And as soon as I started working on that one, it seemed to open the floodgates to other things. It might just be also because I love that story so much. I feel like I might love it too much. You know those characters that like the author just loves so much, like almost too much? I always worry that maybe I love these characters a little too much. But what can you do? It's not any better to deal with characters that you don't love enough. So now I've got like this improved outline for the Broken Queen that I did a couple weeks ago, the Broken Queen sequel. So now I have an improved outline for the Broken Queen sequel. I'm already deep into the book about Una and Vari, and I also keep getting ideas for the book about Arn and Euston. And I have really been wanting to do a queer cozy romance. That would be the first potential go at that. So there's so many things. There's so many things I want to do. There's really not enough hours in the day, but I have been like squeezing every hour that I can out throughout the month of September so far, which is awesome. The cats are getting into some trouble. And after I record this video, my plan was then to immediately edit the video, but I don't even want to do that because I've been on such a roll with writing that what I really want to do is just finish recording this little bit and then sit down and get in my words for the day. But I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to get the words and the editing done. I got to pick one or the other. This is how my whole schedule gets thrown off. I do need to record another video. Oh my God, my hair is so wild. But you know, sometimes I just want to take my schedule and throw it to the wind. This is why I'm often really bad at correspondence, because there's just so many little things to juggle, and then I'll get into this mode where I don't even want to juggle any of them. I just want to write my book. But before I get to some writing, I'll show you what I got at the antique mall. So first, at one of the first booths that had some vintage clothing and some books, I got this. This was pretty cheap, but I just thought it would be kind of hilarious. It is a book about Gen X, apparently before they even had a name, and it was written in, oh, let's see. I mean, this is definitely giving me early 90s, but it came out in 1993. So I thought this would just be fun to go through and see what the thoughts were about Gen Xers back when they were the youngins. These are the topics listed on the back. We don't even have a name. Something of a national curse. Woodstock. Black. Born a little late. Are we being tested on this? Is it all downhill? Room to move as a fry cook. Trusting ourselves and money, period. The New Jack School. Sometimes we get sick of sex. The choices are ugly and few. Trying to strip things down and simplify. In the 21st century, breathing down our necks. So I'll read this and report back if there's anything fascinating in it. Then at the first like big vintage clothing booth in the antique mall, I found these pants. They're not vintage, I don't think. They're by Rough Hewn and they're made in the USA. But I saw these and I thought they looked like Rachel Maxey pants. I know some of you also like Rachel Maxey's channel, and she always has all these pants, like these grandpa pants. And I'm always like, where does she find so many pairs of grandpa pants? Because I go to thrift stores and antique malls and vintage clothing stores, and I almost never see pants like that. So I'm baffled. Maybe in Massachusetts, people wear a lot more grandpa pants, and the problem is that I live in the South. I was like, you know, I've been curious about having a pair of Rachel Maxey grandpa core pants, so I grabbed those. I don't have enough room to show off pants, but yeah, I'm not actually sure what to style these pleated grandpa pants with, but then I went to the other vintage booth where I've had some really good luck. Like, it's either hit or miss. I mean, that's true. That's true of all antique malls, but some days I do really well. Some days it's like, this is not even of any interest to me. But I did pick up this 50s dress because it said $25 and it was actually 20% off. So it was only $20 for a 1950s cotton day dress, which that is so good nowadays. And it's one of those stealth dresses. It doesn't look like anything really amazing on the rack. It doesn't have like a super retro textile or anything, but I don't mind that at all. These are just my everyday wear. I just like a good, sturdy, comfy cotton, and that was my favorite score of the day. And then right near the register, right as we were about to leave, there was a place that had like a bunch of records that were flat price, and they actually had some pretty decent ones. So we got Switched on Bach 2. A few Bob Seger albums, which were all in like pristine condition, like no one ever listened to them. So our Bob Seger collection is almost like everything that we want. They also had Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, which is a fairly pricey album usually. Like, I've never seen it for like less than $20 personally while I'm out and about. And I'm not like the biggest Frankie Goes to Hollywood fan, but then again, the only song that I know is Relax. So I thought for $8, I'll grab it. It doesn't have a sleeve, but that's, and then Dave got these Mike Post television themes albums, which I don't really know any of these because I'm younger than him, and it was just so nice to get out because the weather was perfection, and I have been such a hermit this summer. It's almost like COVID was back. Well, actually, COVID kind of was back. Like everybody we knew got COVID. But, you know, that's how much home I was being and how rarely I was leaving the house, seeing people. And now it kind of feels like everything is getting more pleasant, and it felt like I just wanted to get out and run around. My mood just feels so much lighter when the air gets less humid. It felt so good. But now that I've done that, I'm kind of like, okay, well, that we did that. Now I want to stay home and be a hermit again for several days and get back to work on all the many novels calling my name. So that's what I'm going to do now. I hope you enjoyed having a little outing with me this month. And thank you again to Teddy Blake. I love my new bag. Please check out the clearance sale. And if you missed that, you can get $30 off with my code TBLydia30. If you're new here and you want to stick around, my name is Lydia Foxglove, and my channel is generally about the writing life, including writing fantasy novels, fantasy world building, writing craft, and the creative, emotional, and practical side of living a creative life. And sometimes nerd stuff. You just get a little bit of everything that comprises my cozy little hermit writer life. And as always, if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe to either my Substack or my Patreon. There's a free tier or there's a $5 tier that gets you access to my Discord, where we've been having a lot of writing sprints, which is fun, along with a regular monthly chat, extra monthly video, and some other extras, and it helps to support the channel. So I will see you next time. Bye!